Well, despite being the world's dumbest dumbass and posting the Dark Brandon meme right as Israel was creating a fresh new war crime in defiance of the International Court of Justice, Joe Biden actually did something for once that at least has a faint hint of resistance to Israel's genocide. Here it is. Actual tangible progress. Filed under, of course, not nearly good enough, a subsection of why have you ever vetoed anything that the UN put forward asking Israel not to murder innocent people. But nonetheless, Biden slaps new international law requirements on nations receiving U.S. military aid. Oh ho. President Joe Biden has issued a national security memorandum requiring foreign governments receiving U.S. military aid to provide written assurance that the assistance will be used in compliance with international law. Let me jump through the chain of events. Israel will not provide written assurance. Joe Biden will pretend like that never happened. You and I will make a big stink about it. Joe Biden will say that Israel must comply, and then Israel will continue to ignore it. If they do provide the written assurance that they will not yada yada yada, they will continue acting exactly as they have acted. I understand all of that. This is nonetheless a good thing. Moving on, we're going to get to why it's a good thing. The White House's demands for extra accountability issued Friday. Additionally, a day you release things when you don't want a lot of people to hear about it. And that'll work with the crowd he's trying to avoid hearing about this, which is centrists, who are dumb. White House's demand for extra accountability issued Friday takes place as Biden has ramped up his criticism of Israel's military campaign in Gaza, calling the continuing assault on Hamas over the top last week. Well, Biden's ultimatum was not aimed at any specific country, of course. It was noteworthy as it came on the heels of concerns voiced by lawmakers regarding Israel's Gaza campaign amid increasing accusations of genocide. Don't gloss over that. Voiced by lawmakers, you say. Voiced by lawmakers. As in, you wrote your representatives. Your representatives spoke about this and reflected your opinions. That made Biden go, and put out this pussy little, put out this very gentle chastisement of it. Senator Chris Van Hollen, a Democrat from Minnesota, last year proposed a budget amendment in which military aid would be similarly subject to international law compliance, but now says he will withdraw it in light of Biden's order. Why would you withdraw that? His actually has some teeth. The military aid requires international law to be followed, whereas Biden's requires a letter and a pinky swearsies to be given. Dumb. But at least he, had the thing to withdraw in the first place. All of these key elements of the amendment have now been incorporated into the national security. No, they haven't. National security memo issued by the president, he said incorrectly. Van Hollen and more than a dozen Democratic lawmakers welcomed Biden's latest move, saying it would put additional guardrails on the government of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to protect human rights. Because we succeeded in getting the provisions of the amendment adopted as a matter of U.S. government policy, we will no longer be seeking a vote on the amendment because we've accomplished our goal now, assistance of the president and the administration. Van Hollen added. Here's the thing, no, they didn't. What they got was a much weaker version. They said, we are not going to put forward this vote, which would be bad politically because the centrist Democrats want people to go on slaughtering Palestinians. And people that pay attention to the world events and understand how the world works and have a fucking brain in their skulls want the genocide to stop. Basically, Van Hollen, I assume, was begged to withdraw his bill in exchange for this thing. Why is it a good thing, though? Why is it a good thing? It shows Biden feels pressure. Biden at least understands that this is a political loser for him. Good. Keep doing what you're doing. Write your representatives with regularity. I hope you have saved the link to finding your representatives. If not, pretty easy to Google it. If not, I can provide that link in the comments as well, and I'm happy to. Because in the description, because there is literally nothing more effective that you can do. The people who are in charge, making the laws, of deciding what our country, and at least in the U.S., so in Canada and England and New Zealand with the MP system, the people who represent us can be contacted in literally seconds. And they almost never are. So often, we moan about the things our representatives do. And when I ask the person doing the complaining, when's the last time you told your representative how you feel about anything, they answer never. I've never expressed to them what I think about this, that, or the other thing. So we're apparently trying to elect mind readers. Great. You might be thinking, well, how come they should know how I feel already? What are they, dumb? Yes! They're dumb. And they're stressed. And they're vain. Scared and they're small. Like all of us. We elect human beings. Tell them how you feel. Tell them you want peace in the Middle East. Tell Joe Biden that when Israel breaks their word, or if they fail to send a letter, you would like the military aid to stop. And if he has constituents who are going to complain about it, point to this moment right here and say all they had to do, tell us they weren't going to commit war crimes. They were unable to do that. We're not in the business helping war criminals.